Alright, let's discuss about the matchup tier list spread for Oscilio, right? It's about to be PQs, week 3, of course. But now there's have been enough time to kinda play this a lot, the hero. So this is not gonna be a tier list on the meta. Because you've probably seen like card guys, we make best, uh fab metal tokens tier list, and so on and so forth. They pretty much place Oscilio here. And if you are Taylor, you probably put Oscilio down here. So it's like considered top 5 maybe worst heroes in the game, which I don't think is true, but we are not very much here. That's for certain. Somewhere about along B. I think Oscilio is fine, but Oscilio struggles is meta into like these very heavy aggro decks, like Viserai, Azala is bad. We'll go through them. We'll go through them. So yeah, let's just start putting the mirror in the B because it's like 50-50 skill matchup, who draws better kind of deal, as per usual. Then we got start with Bravo. Okay, so this matchup, it's it is alright. It's alright. It's like they can hit you with nasty dominance over and over again. But I would consider that high rolling per se if they just hit disruption every turn that you can't play around to. So we are very good at playing around, especially Spinal Crash. The one that don't let our cards pump up, it's not a big deal. Weakest Link, we can most of the time play around, forces us to block. Same with CNC, but it's like fine. The lists are getting tuned to being able to block stuff, so that's really nice. So overall, like Guardians, I think it's around A or B. Maybe I put it like, nah, let's put it A. Maybe bottom A. Dory is a warrior. It's same kind of deal. She doesn't have that much damage where she can raise. Well, she can. Of course, she kills like in 3 or 4 turns, but this is like kind of a no block matchup where you do have the more consistent damage output in terms of like your one spike just kills the game basically. So I think it's by all no means a free matchup. You can get rolled. They can draw the crazy hands, but I think it's like exponential harder to draw the crazy hands on Dory than Australia to combo off. Katsu. To be fair, this is the kind of deck I have not played too much into, but it's like decent matchup though. Because Katsu is not that fast. It's not like very real deck right now, even though it's making like top 8s here and there. But they don't have access to bonds. They kill in like 3 turns. It's like, because I consider Katsu's clock to be one turn like more than the premier aggro decks right now in the meta. So that's why I put it like somewhere in the A. It's like I think slightly favored. I feel slightly good if I go into Katsu, but of course I can get rinsed. That's like shit happens. Azala is like the worst matchup. One of the worst matchups. If they can't knock a riddle or find a riddle and book a riddle, then riddle as in read in the ledger, then this matchup is fine. You can just play your hand each turn and not arsenal a card, and you are looking to combo the first hand that you can get your Greaves off to, which is like +4, +8 value on it or something like that. We can just get the search and whatever. It's a no block matchup, so they can't even block while you're on hit. So that's why I like snatches in here, where you can threaten very wide turns with snatch and CLV and why not. But that's that. It's the matchup is pretty bad. This one, I think this is good. But I do realize there might be a case where if it's like somebody extremely competent playing Dash IE, she should be more more aggro and faster than Dash IO, right? So that makes it by default worse matchup, and Dash IO is pretty hard because she's after the Armory deck update, she's looking very strong. Maybe not the best deck in the format. The hype has died down a little, but yeah, maybe I'll bump her down here because she gets to start like basically +9 value or +10 value over on Dash IO because she just puts the pounder on the table, and then the game gets like really fast, and we are not good at plucking out the pounder and then starting to play our own game, so we kind of have to submit in their game. So that makes it like not desirable matchup, but they do not disrupt us. So if we draw a good hand, then the game is like very good. Kano, I think Kano is like good matchup. To be fair, they need to flip very good, and the player needs to be very good on Kano. Like I just don't care about Kano much. I played too much Kano myself, and I know the matchup like inside out. And unless it's like the top Kanos in the world, I'm not scared about this matchup at all. And if there are top Kanos in the world, they do need to flip well where they kill us in the first 3 turns. It's like the average of the matchup. I think it's like slightly favored. It's not the best matchup, it's like slightly favored. Levia. This is fine. Fine matchup. She can go very fast. They do have pretty annoying equipment suit with Scowling Flashback or AB3. So that's always a thing that we're not able to dodge their equipment well. But she isn't as fast as the premier aggro deck. She's more like a mid-range deck, and we are pretty good in the mid-range. I would put Levia somewhere on here. A is getting a little cluttered. There's like, well, now I can put one matchup in the S tier. I think Bolton is very fantastic matchup to us because Bolton doesn't really like matchups where the opponent goes no blocks and it kind of like blanks out their hero mostly, and they usually like they are slower aggro than Dory. Don't play Dory, mind you. If they're playing Hatchet Dories, I don't know why, but it's free then. Then the matchup is like free. But yeah, Rain and Bolton is very good matchup. I think it's one of the best matchups. She doesn't exist anymore. Fi, we can put Fi here. If it's like the normal Fi, I think it's like castle level good matchup. But if it's like the combo Fi, has been like popping out a little, it's literally unwinnable. It's I think it's the worst matchup. You just can't fucking win. It's crazy. Arachne, because they consistently kill you like by turn 2 or turn 3, every single time. Arachne is I have not played more than like one game into this, so I'm not. It's the easiest assassin, but still like assassin. So the matchup is kind of annoying, but the matchup goes long as long as you're not getting what's the card that pulls out all your same name cards out of your deck? Just watch out for that. It's like fine if they pull out all your gun in the flashes, but if they pull all your brilliance, which should not happen because it's an instant, you can play it in response. It gets like really bad. If you lose all your guns and blasts, then you're kind of getting done for. But yeah, just be mindful. Uzuri, bad matchup. It's much worse than Arachne. Yeah, I don't. Maybe I'll put it here. Or here. I can't really decide which one is worse, Nu or Uzuri. I think Nu. But Uzuri can just ship for free fucking CNCs without us being able to interact with them. So it's like, I think I'll put it here. I'll just put the bottom matchups which are very unfavorable down here. Vincent, I think Vincent's fine matchup. It's kind of even because they can. I feel like Vincent is worse Viserai into us. They do have disruption that we are not able to dodge, unfortunately. But apart from that, their damage output is not very huge. So they do play with 1 IP less technically than Viserai. And the snuff out is not guaranteed. I think. I don't think they play Snuff out. But yeah, it's versus Viserai. So it's pretty good into us. It's fine matchup. I think it's like 50-50 kind of. Personally, just throw that shit down here. Can't compete with Heralds and the additional life from the Angels. That's pretty much how this matchup goes. It's not the worst. It's one of the worst. Yeah, it's like these three, and then this. Maybe I make another tier. Add a row below. All right, there we go. We put these three down here, and this is fine here. These are fine here. Let's put a row above. So this looks like add row above. V tier. Put this here. But probably you here. I just wanted it to look like Oscilio's in the middle. So people are like, what? How is Oscilio favorite? Just kill them, bro. Throw better. Riptide. I really can't decide Riptide matchup. I feel like it's pretty even because there's a way for us to play around their hero ability and the reacts, because Gun in the Flash, if you bounce that in response to the react being played, then the react just fizzles and goes to the graveyard, so it doesn't trigger them. But of course, we are not always able to play around Gun and Flash and that, but you should cater towards playing with that. So you play sigils, play Gun and Flash with instant turns, so you can keep pushing damage and just getting cards out of their hand. But they also have the very annoying Ranger on hits that are bad in that, so it's like it's kind of 50-50. Also, Riptide is not as fast as Azalea, so you can have time to set up a big combo and devastate them. Yeah. Max, I think Max is really good matchup. I don't have played into. I have not played English. I've not played into like top level competent Max players, but this matchup just feels very good. It feels very good for us. Yeah, the reason being they do not have this disruption. Their equipment is AB3, yes, but apart from that, it's just AB3. It's not like Runeblade's equipment, so where it's like AB3 plus 9 HP, draw a card kind of deal, which is insane. Oh, and SV2 on top of that, I guess. So, yeah. I would need to play into. Taylor was saying that this matchup is like pretty hard if you play into top level maxes. So trust his word on it, but they do not have like big tools that are very good inherently into us. So by nature, I don't think their deck beats us. So then it can make it like skill matchup or whatever. But I feel favored about this matchup. Tekla is fucking free. It's if it's Counter Blessing Tekla, it's free. If it's normal Tekla, it's fucking free. Best matchup, I think. I'll probably not ever lost this. Like by turn 3 or 4, my opponent could have mech'd or like hopped in the Exodia, Singularity, whatever bullshit, and I break really hard, and that game lasted like 10 turns, and it still wasn't even close. So I don't know like what the fuck is up with that. Viserai, it's bad matchup. It's pretty hard matchup because they do have the snuff outs, succumb to temptations, but apart from that, they do have like really high damage output, which just consistently kills you by turn 3. So if you're not dead by turn 3, you're lucky, or they have hit you with disruption. So then you are kind of dead turn 4. But you can still like roll very good turn of Greaves into them, and Mind Warp, as well as Zap and Conquer does help in this matchup. As well as Snatch, I suppose, but Bosch is tricky when you need to play around Bosch if they are signing in Bosch, which I think they should play Bosch into. Maybe I should not do this list. Pre my own PQ? Nice, whatever. I'll just play it. I'll try to. So yeah, I played like 5 games into Viserai, real Viserai. and they were getting backseated by another real player, and it was not very fun time. I wanted to sleeve up my Kano and call it a PQ. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, Dash.io, put it here. It should be easier than Dash.ie. Maybe it's even like here. Because the thing is, they can start with cerebellums and they can be tutored, which is kind of cringe. But they do not have disruption. So, but they can play like really high octane turns. But they're also like more combo stack than us. In terms like compared to the SIE, and they don't start with Tekla Ponder, and they don't usually play Tekla Ponder. I don't think there is like space to play Tekla Ponder no more. So I'd say the matchup somewhere here. Maybe it's like 45, 55 for us, or 50-50. Can't decide. But it feels like a little out of favor, a little shaky. Kasai, I'm just gonna put like straight up right here. Maybe even here. Because we just know log and their stuff like does nothing, but they can, compared to Bolton or whatever, they can play CNCs. So I'll put like Dinner here. Warrior and Guardians are good. Betsy, yeah, Betsy, she does have the new thing where she discards your stuff a lot and get vigors and gold, so they get to play like their hero power to max into us. But I think it's still pretty fine. You should be able to navigate a good combo turn and end the game like that. KO, I think KO is good. KO matchup good. Put it over here. Because KO is not like the premier aggro anymore. It's not fast enough. Don't get me wrong, KO is very fast and they can high-roll you for sure. But it's more of a mid-range deck, and everything that's like mid-range and slower, we do really good into, generally. Even though they would like disrupt us a lot, as long as it's not every single turn. So KO is here. They also have like pretty good equipment, so that makes it a little worse. But I think KO is easier out of these brews, and brews are favored in my experience. Starboard does not exist. Chain does not exist. Olympia, okay. Yeah, I guess not expecting anyone to play Olympia, but yeah. Victor? Worse matchup than Betsy, sure. Maybe even here. Worse than Dory? I'm actually not sure. I think it's better than Dory. Maybe on top of A. Victor can play a lot of CNCs, weakest links, pummels. But across from those, he does not have a lot. If the Victor goes like very aggro and can hit like very early visit to the Goldman estates and do like Rose or Zealous Building or E-Strike into another attack / Anathos, they kill you very fast. And Pummel is pretty devastating, but I think still overall it's like pretty favorite matchup. It's like mid-range to slower type of deck. So yeah, still favored. Trauma does not exist. Aurora. Yeah, I think Aurora's here. It's slightly unfavored. It's not unfavored by a lot. I think it would be like pretty favored if they didn't have such a good equipment suit in the ass, but they do. But yeah, I'd rather play into Aurora than Viserai. 100%. If you just be mindful of burn up a shock, you can generally dish out more damage than them. But you have to draw Creeps combo, of course. But I think it's like for us to draw better, it's easier than the Aurora draw better because they do have like the floor higher, but we only need like one spike of Creeps turn. But it's still like unfavored because it's, yeah, they have consistent damage output to kill us hard. If you go into these two, you just want to really go second as like most aggro matchups deny their ability to go second, so you might get turned for yourself more. Old him does not exist, unfortunately. I guess we can rate old him as Jarl here. Yeah, so old him. Let's talk old him as Jarl. Of course, Jarl deck is not out fully. We only got 4 cards, and they are probably looking to get Earth equipment somewhere because their own ability does not have anything with Earth, even though it fuses with Earth. But we do play pretty well into ice actually, because we can play a lot of blues, like 17 to 20 blues. It's like no issue for us. But we can also play around Spinal Crush, Hypothermia very efficiently. We can have big Greaves turns and just have a lot of time to play the game. And their disruption doesn't really hurt us that much. Of course, there is always the CNC pummels. A pummel is always a bad card, but it's not the end of the world because the game is not usually decided to one pummel. They need to be like continuous. And Channel Lake Frigid, of course, it's a powerful card, but they're also kind of skipping their turn, making suboptimal second turn to keep that round. And you cannot like dish out max damage of your hand, but by pitching 1 blue, you can mostly like play an alright hand. But the most important thing into or with Jarl is that he will gatekeep the fuck out, hopefully, out of Viserai or Fi, like all these super redline aggro decks. They just get pummeled the fuck down by ice, and I'm really happy about that because then the meta spread is looking much better if there starts to be a lot more Guardian, maybe again Brood, because Shash is technically like negating Channel like Frigid in a sense, I suppose, but of course it's like costs to activate. But yeah, if the meta gets more mid range, it's looking a way better thing for Oscilio down the line. So, but it's still, of course, it's still ice matchup. So it gets like pretty hard, but I think it's somewhere around here, maybe 45, 55. I really do enjoy playing as of now this matchup. I really do. I think this is how the disruption should be made in this game, and not with fucking Viserai undeniable, on hit, unpreventable. I get to look your hand and discard a card from there. Like, what's up with that shit? Yeah, I don't know. Fair. Florian, it's a very good matchup. Here, maybe here, here. They only have Plow and the other 2 card 11 or whatever the fuck. Yeah, 2 card 11. 3. Felling of the Crown. That one. Those are like, of course, not optimal to play into, but they are not that devastating. Because you can play around Plow to just Arsenal instance. Don't sit on gun in the flash, so on and so forth. So then they give just a lot of time for you. Of course, they can play CNC as well, and all that stuff, but like a lot of time is good. So it's like here, I think. Very good matchup. Zen. I don't know, it's like somewhere here. Here. Unfavored. Because it's still Zen. They have very good equipments and a lot of life from the equipments, and they go very fast. So it's like the game's like 3 turns, but they have, how much can I lie to you? They have like plus 10 HP to us, something along those lines at least. So yeah. Or what do we got? I wish we had Icelander. Dude, I loved it when there was Icelander to keep out these redline aggros. Enigma, I think favored. I think good. Yeah, maybe around here. This is like one of the saving graces for Oscilio in this meta, that we are favored in the Enigma. The worst thing that anyone can do is to play efficient awards that she does not try to keep around. She just swings well with those like Rage Spectre, Cats, Mirror Guy, and then it's just cash outs for the extra HP. But the thing is that she can't keep those around. Because we dish out too much damage, and also like they can't block the arcane, so it always clears their board. But they also have Phantasm, so they can do the prism thing, where they just swing very high rate attacks. But I think it's still like favorite matchup. It's actually a pretty fun matchup. I like playing it. Yeah, you go here. Then we got Verdance. This is like very good matchup, I think. She gives like infinite time. You need to be very off their ability to fatigue us. But if you play Oscilio well enough, you should never get fatigued because you can pitch stack as well and play into a very big Greaves turn without pitch stacking as well. So they cannot really do too much. I've played a shit ton against good variances. So yeah, I think it's favorite. We got Reiner. Just like here with Lavia, I think. Still like favorite, but Reiner I think is the hardest brute. Because they... The thing is with Reiner, if you draw a brick hand and they just go like Intimidate 2, swing for, I don't know, 11. It's like you get time, but now you can't like possibly filter out your hand by blocking. So now your brick hand stays with you, and you just fall behind. Fall behind a lot, but you still get like 4 turns of time into Reiner, and can do. They don't have like disruption apart from the what's not smashing performance, sand packing, and maybe CNC. Maybe they play weakest link in the rare space too. It's very sad that DL is coming into meta and everyone is playing erase phase and we just get the collateral damage of erase phase because it turns off Walter basically for us. That's all it does, but it's like a pretty big deal. But you can still go like 0 for 4, 0 for 4, 0 for 4, whatever the fuck. I knew. Fucking hate the 0. We put her down here. It's not as unplayable as these, I think. Because these just straight up murder you. But she just murders you slowly. It's like fucking you would drag your testicles across the sandpaper for like 40 minutes. And then the game's over. She's just so bad. Even if I had like 100 to 0 matchup in the new, I would not want to play it. Yeah. She just have consistent disruption every turn. And the bad part about that one is usually with the disruption, you get to pick how you play around it or what you discard, so you can keep like a somewhat functional hand, right? But with new, she just either looks top of her deck and it's like, okay, now you don't have red cards, or like she gets to see your hand and be like, okay, I'll just take that card out, and now you have like 4 cards that does fucking nothing because they don't link together. Because now they pulled out your current funnel or they pulled out your instant for your a flaring charge or something like this. So it's like really annoying and really bad. It's still winnable matchup. You can still like win against them, but if they are good, you're not like, yeah, you need to high roll to have the fucking high heaven in this matchup. What else do we got? We got Ira coming out. I think Ira is a good matchup. She does not look to do too much. She's like mid range again, but she plays CNCs and erase faces and weak links and those stuff. So they can threaten you, of course, but in general, it should be like pretty good. I think here, maybe we go higher. I think we do this. Yeah, I like how this looks. So yeah, overall it's like, of course Oscilio is not the best pick if you want to win, but it's like not that bad. You have like probably a lot of these, a lot of these, a lot of these, so it's annoying, and maybe there's a lot of Azaleas and a couple of news. Apart from this, there should be like full Florian's Verdances maybe, and then K is still a good deck. A lot of Enigma. Yeah, but it's like your matches mostly go in here. There's a couple of in here, but if the meta slows down due to Jarl, then we go like up in here. It's looking really good. Yeah. Hopefully that makes sense for all of y'all. Good luck to your games at your PQs. We had fantastic performances last weekend where we got top 8s and 2 wins and 1 draft win. I don't think the draft win counts to calculation because it only takes in classic constructed points in the meta share pie, right? So we got 2 CC wins and 1 draft win. Fan fucking tastic. Hope to get more this weekend. So good luck.